Good evening and welcome to the City of Boynton Beach City Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, and the time is now 6:41 p.m. We will now turn to the city clerk for roll call.
Mayor Shelton.
Present.
Vice Mayor Hay.
Present.
Commissioner Cruz.
Present.
Commissioner Turkin.
Present.
Commissioner Kelly.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. I am going to assume that there is not a Pastor Nate Santos in the audience. Okay. Pledge of Allegiance is, actually, the invocation is back on to you, Vice Mayor Hay. And Turkin, if you can do the invocation. I mean the pledge. Yeah, sorry.
Let us pray. Gracious and Father God, we come before you with grateful hearts for a new year as we stand at the threshold of this great 2026. We thank you for carrying us through 2025, for all the accomplishments achieved, every challenge that we overcame, and every lesson learned as a city. We ask now that you, Lord, bless the city of Boynton Beach as we begin 2026. Grant wisdom, clarity, and unity to our mayor, Rebecca Shelton, the city commissioners, and all who serve in leadership. Guide our meetings, our discussions, our decisions, that they may always be fair, thoughtful, and centered on the good of the people of Boynton Beach. Bless our dedicated city staff for their hard work and commitment. And we lift up all 82,000 plus citizens who call Boynton Beach their home, young and old, longtime residents and newcomers alike. May this be a year of safety, progress, opportunity, and hope for every neighborhood. Help us to lead with integrity. Let's lead and listen with compassion to our citizens and act with courage as we move forward together. We thank you in advance for what you will do in 2026, and we place this city in your care. In Jesus' name we pray. Let every heart say amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are now moving on to the agenda approval, additions, deletions, and corrections. Let's begin to my right with Commissioner Cruz.
I don't have any.
Vice Mayor Hay.
Agenda approval and correction addition? Yes, I do have two items I would like to add to the agenda, and that is the contingency fund. I don't have it before me. May Lee has it. But
It's
I want to add,
$1,000 to the Boynton Beach Bulldogs.
Yes.
And $500 to the Boynton Beach cheerleaders.
Excellent, excellent.
And I've added it to your agenda, Mayor,
Oh, so
Thank you
I-
very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
as item number G.
Oh, okay. So I do have it on here. We're good.
Thank
It's
you.
item
That's it.
number G. Yeah, okay.
Oh, G?
Yeah. I have none. Commissioner Kelly?
No, I am good. Thank you, Mayor.
Commissioner Turkin?
Yeah, I got two things I want to hopefully get consensus for to discuss at a later meeting. The first thing is a conversation about developing some form of a task force when it comes to building, code, development, the legal aspect of building in the city. For time and time, years and years, we hear about our permit processing. I think, a lot of it in-house is good. I think staff is doing what they need to do. I think the issue is that it's our own code, it's our own instruction manual that needs to be changed. This is something I brought up last year when the mayor was newly elected about having this huge overhaul with our permit processing. And so what I'd like to see is staff getting together with developers, contractors, maybe legal sits in this conversation to identify what are some roadblocks in our code that aren't operational necessities that are causing residential homeowners or people wanting to invest in our city more money based on maybe aesthetics, maybe just administrative procedure that isn't, structurally or engineeringly sound, right? And so I want to have a holistic approach on how we can expedite and mitigate the cost for people not just to improve their homes and renovate their homes, but also for people who want to invest in the city, whether that's multifamily housing, commercial space, et cetera. Because time and time again, I just hear, it's our code, this is how we do it, and I've heard before, one of the most expensive things that you can do in business is say, that's how we've always done it, right? And so I think it'd be a good opportunity to hear from, these business owners, developers, contractors, to really look at what are their top hesitations or obstacles when dealing with the city outside of staff, right? I think staff has done a good job. Adam's did a good job of, really streamlining our process. I think a lot of it is for us to take a look at our instruction manual and change that and kind of remove some of this red tape. Second thing is, we're going into budget in the next few months, and I think that it's crucial that we have a conversation about some macro level initiatives preparing for the anticipated property tax referendum. And then also, if, hopefully not, if there is an economic downturn, I think it's extremely important that we take a look at our books and look at, not just at a granular level, but a macro level as initiatives that this body can do in order to mitigate that cost and prepare. I understand that we have reserves. I think, the city manager and this board has done a pretty good, or has a pretty good responsibility of stashing away in those reserves. But I think there's opportunities from a macro level where we can really mitigate costs and, hopefully drastically lower our millage rate. Because ultimately, that is how you incentivize investment, is making, the city cheaper to do business in, more affordable, and then that helps blossom and create more additional revenue for the city. So my objective is to, have those macro level conversations prior to getting those budget workshops done. That way we're prepared and we have an idea and a strategy, if and any, and we're not running around and kicking the can down the road, if we come to a time where we then need to, make drastic changes.
Staff has one item we'd like to see tabled, Mayor, tonight. It's going to be item 10B. The Palm Beach County Fire Marshal reached out to myself. I think they want to actually look at the food aspect of that item. So if we could actually table that to a later date, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, if there's nothing else, do we have a motion to approve I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate what you brought up, Commissioner Turkin. I do want to provide a little feedback that it is important to look at everything that you talked about, but I also want to be mindful of treading lightly when it comes to, who's going to be making decisions on our ordinances and things of that nature. I do agree with the questions about property taxes and looking at our reserves. I think we've done a good job at bumping up our reserves, but I think we can definitely do a better job at that going forward to prepare for the potential of, we don't know what's going to happen in Tallahassee coming down. I have had some conversations with our city manager in the past where we talked about the permitting process and how confusing it's been for a lot of the small homeowners, like I'm not talking about just the big developers, but also for the, regular citizens that are just trying to make small improvements in their homes or, just individual single-family homes, townhomes, and things of that nature, where it becomes a very problematic process, as you mentioned, and that is very true. And one thing that I've asked if we could do is, can we have kind of like a paper guide that can let the residents know, the same way that staff looks at stuff and says, like, these are our requirements. Can we have literally the same or something pretty similar enough to that for our residents to know, like, what it is that's needed? Sometimes the feedback is, we're asked for A, B, and C, and then we submit A, B, and C, and then we come back, and then we're being asked for F and J, things that were not originally requested. So to avoid the potential of that, it would be great for us to have an external also, in addition to our internal, letting people know what it is that our staff is going to require of them so they can prepare for it before the fact and submit that, simultaneously as they're looking at changing it, at least for the regular homeowners that are really trying to, make upgrades in their homes, and it becomes very problematic. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the intention is to get, I couldn't imagine that someone building, a single-family home builder is gonna be able to give the same advice as someone building multifamily. So that's why I think it's important to get all stakeholders involved. And I think, just for an example, for someone not to get, their final inspection signed off because a piece of sod's not there, I think is a little bit silly, right? And I think there's a lot of that. And that's no one's fault, right? If anything, that's on us as being the authors of the instruction manual, that we need to reauthor this and look at what is absolutely necessary. What are some things that create obstacles for homeowners, people who want to invest in our city, and really look at things from an as-needed basis. Is this an operational necessity, or does this just make us feel good, right? Because I think when we look at people investing their money, I would much rather someone come and invest in Boynton if they think it's easier and more efficient than skip over and go to Lantana, et cetera, et cetera. Whether that's single-family home development, commercial build-out, office, or multifamily, I just want to make sure that we're being realistic with what our instruction manual is.
Okay. Any other comments? So do I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Motion to approve agenda as amended.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the agenda as amended. We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We will now move on to informational items by members of the City Commission. Let's begin on my left with Commissioner Turkin.
Yep, I just want to thank city staff, Maurice, Tommy's in the audience, and Kyle over at Publix for helping us do a big park cleanup over at Betty Tommy's Park in December. It was our second annual one, so I really appreciate all of staff for those who came out and helped on a Saturday morning. Of course, it rained again. And then also Kyle from Publix, they're having he's the manager over the Publix at the Sunshine Square. They're having a community service week, April 19th to the 26th. And I believe he's reaching out to see if there's any opportunities for any additional cleanups or any service work that they could participate in with the city. So I don't know if staff wants or is interested in that. I can hand that contact off to you.
Can you repeat that? It was April 19th?
To the 26th.
To the 26th?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have Sheila from Public Affairs reach out to him.
Commissioner Kelly?
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I do have, we had quite a few, well, I don't want to say quite a few, we had a couple of critical incidents in the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to just recognize our, our first responders for really, and some of them very quickly, solving some of these cases, but also, we get in the habit of thanking our police and fire because they're the kind of the front lines, but I wanted to take a minute to just thank our dispatchers because I think that they, Monique Lewis, who runs our dispatch, is amazing. She has an incredible team. And they're the first ones that get these calls and have to deal with these critical incidents. And they're in the back line, in the back. And so they don't always get the recognition that our first responders get. And so I just want to thank them on behalf of the, commission for just for what they do for the city. So thank you.
Vice Mayor Hay.
Yes. First, I'd like to take this time to let those who may or may not have known I've been under the weather for the past month, and I want to thank all of you who sent cards, phone calls, visits, whatever you did. I'm back, and I feel a whole lot better. So with that, I'll just leave it there. But I would like to take this time to thank staff for their tremendous job on yesterday in recognition of Dr. Martin Luther King Day. Today, we pause to the life and legacy Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., not only as a giant of the civil rights movement, but as a servant leader whose vision still speaks to the soul of our nation. Dr. King reminded America that greatness is not found in power, but in purpose. Through nonviolence, courage, and faith, he challenged injustice. He helped dismantle legal segregation, opening doors in education, employment, voting rights, and public life, not just for African Americans, but for all people who believe in fairness and dignity. Because of Dr. King's sacrifices, our democracy grew stronger. Our communities grew more inclusive. Our conscience as a nation was stirred. He taught us that hate is too heavy a burden to carry, that love, organized, disciplined, and courageous, love can change laws, love can change hearts, and love can change history. Dr. King's dream was not about division. It was about belonging. A dream where character matters more than color, where justice rolled down like waters, and where every child has a chance to rise. To rise, whether it be on our great Bulldogs team or the cheerleaders who won awards, or in their classrooms at school, or whether on this city commission that we all sit on right now, that we sit on. Wherever you find yourselves, rise. As we honor Dr. King today, may we recommit ourselves to service, unity, and hope, continuing the work he began as we work together. Thank you, and may God bless us all. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And Commissioner Cruz.
Oh, no, thank you.
The first announcement will,
I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention this. I'll be really quick. This is a feel-good thing, so it's very important that these individuals get recognition. So I don't know the exact employees, but trucks, utility trucks 2060, 2004, and 2218 were seen by a resident helping save little ducklings from a storm drain. And they noticed that the mother duckling, or the mother duck was there and was distressed. They weren't able to get all of them, but a resident had reached out and wanted to give feedback and condolences for those city workers, and I think that is a huge representation of the culture of this city. You know, a lot of people would just keep driving, hey, not my issue, not my job, call animal control, and so I don't know who those individuals were, but I hope that the city manager's office can really recognize them, because that is a very amazing thing to do.
love that.
That's it, thanks.
Okay, the first announcement would be a proclamation for Boynton Bulldogs Day, and that will be read by Vice Mayor Hay. Rodney Atwaters will be accepting the proclamation, so Vice Mayor, go ahead.
City of Boynton Beach proclamation. Whereas the Boynton Beach Bulldogs Youth Football League has long stood as a pillar of athletic excellence, mentorship, and community pride within the city of Boynton Beach. And whereas the 2025 season marks a historic milestone for the program, with a record-breaking 7 teams advancing to the 2025 AYFL Super Bowl, the most in league history, reflecting the dedication of the athletes, coaches, volunteers, and families who support the program. And whereas among these 7 exceptional teams, 3 teams, 6U, 8U, and 10U, remain undefeated with extraordinary 12-0 season, demonstrated unparalleled skill, discipline, and teamwork. And yes, let us clap on that. Amen? All right. That, my friend, is outstanding, outstanding. And whereas the 9U team, achieving a strong 9-3 record, has shown determination, perseverance, and commitment to growth that exemplifies the spirit of youth athletics. And whereas this season's achievement extends beyond the football field, as 3 Bulldog teams secure Super Bowl victories, the 5U, the 8U, and the 9U teams, and the Bulldog cheerleader program has earned first place in the AYFL cheer competition, further showcasing the comprehensive talent and dedication within the organization. And whereas this collective success marks not only a defining moment for the Boynton Beach Bulldog Youth Football League, but also a celebration of the athletes, families, coaches, and supporters who contribute to the strength and unity of Boynton Beach community. And whereas the city of Boynton Beach recognize the profound positive impact that youth sports has on character development, leadership, academic success, and community engagement. Now, therefore, I, Vice Mayor Woodrow Hay and Mayor Rebecca Shelton of the city of Boynton Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim January the 20th, 2026 as Boynton Bulldogs Day in the city of Boynton Beach and encourage all residents to join in celebrating the extraordinary achievements of the Boynton Beach Bulldogs Youth Program League and the bright future these young athletes represent. In witness whereof, I have hereto set my hand and called the seal of the city of Boynton Beach to be affixed to at Boynton Beach, Florida, this 20th day of January, 2026. Congratulations. Are there any representatives here from the league? Will you come up? Huh? Okay, everybody in the picture, come on together. Get tight like you love each other. Oh, come over here so we can get you on microphone and everything.
Say your name first.
Say your name first.
Edgar Burton, Football Commissioner for the Boynton Beach Bulldogs. On the behalf of the Boynton Beach Bulldogs, we want to say thank you to the city of Boynton and the people of Boynton for making this day possible for us, man. We want to continue to grow as a community. We need you guys' support, and we thank you guys for the support you have done so far. Thank you.
Listen, also, we want to give a shout out to Mr. Andrew Mack. On the day of the Super Bowl, he was patrolling the sidelines, giving out water, encouraging the kids. So we appreciate you coming all the way to Pembroke Pines to be there with us. Thank you.
Let me also say that there will be a check coming to the Bulldogs for $1,000 and also to the cheerleaders for $500, okay? Those checks will probably be on Friday or Monday, okay? God bless you. Keep up the good work.
Okay, no problem. Next, we'll have the strategic plan presentation and update. Can I please have staff come up and do their presentation?
Good evening. Gigi Shasu, Economic Development Division Director. We're looking for the clicker. Okay. Good evening again. So I'm going to give you a little presentation on the Economic Development Plan, the strategic plan, as requested by Vice Mayor Hay. So basically, what we have here, thank you very much, Sean. So let me just go back just a little just to tell you what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to give you some definitions, provide progress and how we're going to be tracking the progress. And also we're going to be identifying new next steps and how we're going to be aligning it with the budget. So very quickly, the definition of a strategic plan is just something, it's like a roadway where we want to be in 2039 in this case. So what we want, according to what it was agreed in 2024, is a clear vision for the future, with guiding values and principles, strategic goals. Each of those goals have objectives, and under those objectives, of course, projects, initiatives, and how we're going to be measuring. So it's basically, we are going to have, at the beginning, 5 years of action, but 15 years of impact. In 2024, as we can see here, it was adopted. Then in 2024 and 2025, we started with the foundation of this plan. Policies were created, and also we had early wins and visible progress. 2026, and this is the perfect timing for this plan, because in 2026 and 2027, we're going to start implementing, and we're going to start talking about investment for these projects that are contained here in the plan. So, of course, we're going to align financial resources, and we're going to work with the different work plans of the different departments as well. Then it comes phase 4, which is the acceleration and measurable outcomes. So when we're going to start building momentum for the plan. And then, of course, on the stage number 5, it's the 2030-2039 arrival at vision, where we're going to be with the vision of a Boynton Beach that is safe, beautiful, vibrant, and livable for all. So sometimes people are confused what is a strategic plan and what is a comprehensive plan. So I'm just going to give you a little update on those two definitions. So usually they serve different purposes. They have different timelines. One is mandated by the state, the other is not. But basically, the strategic plan is how we operate. It's more flexible and operational, whereas the comprehensive plan is how the city will grow. It has more regulations, and it's more land use focused. But at the end, they work together, okay? Also, a little comparison for you to better understand how this works. We have here several scenarios, and it tells you right there how the strategic plan or the comprehensive plan takes, it works with those different scenarios. For example, I'm just going to give you one. For example, approving a major development, the strategic plan is not applicable for this type of projects, but the comprehensive plan is the one that actually takes place and can act on that different scenarios. So as I said before, you have different scenarios there, and you can see how the both plans can work with it. Now let's start working about the Vision 2039. It says that by 2039, Boynton Beach is going to be a safe and beautiful community. This was established in 2024. A city with vibrant districts, a livable community with fun experiences for all, and a city with a strong and diverse local economy. So there's many things that are included in the strategic plan, so I just summarized everything for you, not to go like page by page because it's a really, really big document. So just to summarize and make it simpler for you, we're going to focus on the 4 different goals that we have, which are financially sound city government, strong local economy, a great place to live, and a safe and clean and attractive community. Each goal has its objectives. In this case, goal number 1, financially sound city government. We have there the different objectives that encompasses that goal. So I'm just going to read a couple: maintain a modernized city infrastructure, leverage grants and partnerships, ensure long-term financial resilience, etc. But one of the most important parts for each of the goals is where we stand. And this is for goal 1. We have a total of 55 projects. You can see there, of those projects, how many are in progress, how many are completed, and how many are not started. And you have an example of the different projects that are completed by now. So in 2 years, we have made a lot of progress in many of those goals. Same thing for goal 2. We have also 7 different objectives, like, for example, develop a downtown. It's a strong local economy. This is my favorite one. So we can develop a downtown with cultural district, modern office spaces, expand experience-based entertainment businesses, etc. Now, where we stand is that we have completed 17.9%. We have 42%, almost 43% in progress, and we have not started 39.3%. The completed projects are down there, and we are working towards starting the other projects that are listed. Those are 28 different projects. Goal number 3, a great place to live. So we have greater mobility within Boynton Beach, develop new quality housing options, improve the quality of schools and the educational programs. We have 24 projects under this goal, the ones that are completed at the bottom again, and we have 41.7% that are completed already. And finally, goal number 4, it's a safe, clean, and attractive community, with some of the objectives being have a low crime rate and have a clean community with no trash, litter, or garbage. And the completion rate has been set at 30% right now, and the completed projects are at the bottom. Of course, one of the things that we've been doing, my Department of Economic Development, we've been contacting all the directors here, and we actually, the last contact with them was the last 2 weeks of December, just to make sure that we were up to date with all these projects, because sometimes when we started this process of updating how we were standing with the economic development, with the strategic plan, some things have changed, and some of the projects that were just in progress now are completed. So this is as of December. Now, major accomplishments. We have several accomplishments with this strategic plan. As, for example, we have strengthened the organizational foundations because we have updated policies, we have improved processes, modernized systems, and we have been accelerated the economic development momentum with redevelopment plans in key districts, expanded our grant programs to support our businesses. Also, we have advanced the major capital and infrastructure projects, and we have launched citywide beautification and public safety enhancements. one of the biggest accomplishments of all is the alignment and cross-department collaboration that we have seen when we start talking with all the departments. How much have we progressed is because we are working together and more intentionally. So we are aligning day-to-day operations, and we communicate really good. We have improved that that part of how we work together towards the goals of the 2039 vision. Okay, so what's coming? It's that one of the plans that we have, it's that we're gonna be refining and or allocating all those projects throughout the year. So we're gonna be giving the commission and the executive team, of course, an update every year in alignment, of course, with the budget. So we're going to be defining the city's policies direction, and we're going to be measuring each of the performance of the different departments, and it's going to be, I'm going to show you in the next slide how it's going to be, how we're going to be measuring. And of course, we're going to be aligning this with the budget. The main plan is the Power BI dashboard integration. We can see at the left, this is a best practice that another city is doing. So we have started to put together the Power BI chart, so where you can actually click on each one of the objectives, and you're going to see the projects that are completed and the departments that are tied to each program, to each project. And then the next steps, of course, continue aligning departments and initiatives, integrate with other key city plans, track and report progress, and the implementation plan reviewed in preparation for budget every year. You can find the strategic plan document in that QR code. Sorry, I'm beeping. And let me know if you have any questions. Sorry, I'm beeping.
No, excellent. This is great. This is what's been missing for me. You know, each year or whenever we have Lyle come and he goes and he comes and he goes, and I never see or hear or see a report like this on what's been accomplished, where we are, and where we're going. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. As a matter of fact, what I would like to propose to my colleagues is that we have a biannual update on this every 6 months. Have some type of update as to where we are, but because we spend a lot of time, a lot of effort and money when Kyle comes to town, sitting down and giving him the best 5 out of 7 and column A, B, C, and all that kind of stuff. So this is good to see what are we doing with all that information. Where are we going? Okay, and so I really appreciate the effort that you put into this, and this is just what I was asking for. Thank you very much.
Vice Mayor, hey, I did want to add, with the use of Power BI, it will actually be accessible to you all the time. It will also be accessible to the public to view the updates of all the projects within all the goals. So we can do annual updates to make sure people are getting the information, or biannual updates, but whenever you're interested in any of the projects, you'll have direct access to it as well.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Just real quick, Mayor. Thank you, Gigi. The team has been everywhere collecting feedback and doing surveys. Have we noticed that that's working and we're really getting as much feedback as we hope to get? And is it, I guess I'm just wanting to make sure that what we're doing is working, or because I know we have seen, they've been at multiple events and out in the community, and so I just want to wanted to get your feedback on, participation from the residents.
Well, actually, this surveys were at the beginning in 2024, so this time it's been internal. So, we've been in conversations with the different departments just to make sure that we are all aligned if those projects that are here are the ones that they are still working on, and also in the future to see if we're gonna be cleaning this document. As you've seen it, it's a little bit, long and extensive. So we're going to be cleaning it up. But all those surveys were done in 2024.
Okay, great, thank you.
Commissioner Kelly, I think who you've been seeing out in the public has been for the comprehensive plan. So
Correct.
they have done a lot of outreach and have been to a lot of the public events. This was done a few years ago, and this kind of synthesizing of the information to view it in front of you was done internally.
Thank you.
That was very good. Thank you so much. I don't think I've ever even heard of Power BI being utilized in the private sector. I see Adam shaking his head. That's something that we used in Mars Inc. Wow, that is very impressive. So with that praise, I'm gonna give a little bit of feedback. I would like to see a little bit of more measurables on like things that could be measured, like the crime rate, right? I know we do like a quarterly update, and that's super helpful from the police department, at least district wide, I get that update. But if we could incorporate that into the biannual or annual report, anything that is measurable to include that way we can see the progress, as it's laid out in front of us. I see it, I think, day to day. As far as the cleanliness goes and the beautification team, I don't know how you measure cleanliness without it being subjective, but maybe that's tickets that the beautification team collects, right, and answers and solves, and, maybe that's an opportunity. But outside of this, this is forward thinking, and, this is executive, high-level planning. So thank you guys so much for putting this together.
Absolutely.
I wish Harry was here to see it.
Oh, yes. Probably watching.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
for
guys very
everything.
much.
Okay.
Excellent.
We are now moving on to public audience portion of the meeting. As always, it is 3 minutes per person and non-transferable. Same rules always apply. The speaker must address the commission as a whole, not to any individual on the dais or in the audience. Insults, personal attacks, and disruptions are not permitted, and you may be asked to leave the meeting should you violate these rules. After we have concluded in-person comments, we will move to online comments. I do ask if you want to come down and speak, already come down and be lined up at the podium, so we can alternate podiums and keep things moving efficiently. Please.
David Katz, Boynton Beach. I'd like to speak to administrative items A and C. It's beyond me why this commission should even bother itself with ratifying chairs and vice chairs. The boards know who they want, they know the people, and I think you should urge your legal department to eliminate that part of from the appropriate ordinance to have you guys do that. And if any of you want to give me a call personally, I'll explain to you why that's there, okay? The other item C, waivers. I'm sure Regina Fay and Michaela Lewis or Louis they've never stolen a freight train, but they live outside the city. And I think we're settling when we have people who live outside the city get appointed to our boards. I think that's the bottom line. I'm sure these boards can use the help, but to have somebody outside the city serve on our boards, I'm totally against that. It's up to you guys to decide what you want to do with the waivers, but I think it's a mistake. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please, sir, to my left.
Hi, my name is Chip Randall. I live at 1562 Palmland Drive. That's in a 55 and older community called Chanticleer. In back of our unit, on one side of our community, there's a road called Summit Drive. And it is the back or northern exit and entrance gate for Hunters Run, the golf course community. What happens there is the gate, they open it up, and some of the people that come out of there think it's like the flag at a racetrack, because they got a nice, clean, straight shot down to Congress, and they really go fast. A lot of them are ridiculously fast. And what the problem is about halfway down, they have the tennis courts, and then there is the barrier-free child park. And there's only a little road that's a shortcut from there over across Summit to our place and the other communities behind us. And kids come across there with skateboards, bicycles, mothers with strollers, and it's dangerous, these cars going so fast. I mean, most of them are nice, quiet, some Mercedes, they just quietly slip on down the road, but a lot of them with Ferraris and Mustangs and Chargers and stuff, crazy. But we'd like to get a speed bump put in there. It's-
Speed limit,
and-
perhaps,
and
also?
Yeah, establish a speed limit, too.
And a number of our residents
Ma'am, can you
are...
state your name, too?
Marjorie Randall, also from Palmland Drive, Chanticleer Community.
Can't share time.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sir,
have
if
to
you want to
stand in
finish your
line.
time, and then ma'am, if he's done, we'll reset the clock, and then you can announce for your 3 minutes.
But
Yeah,
we're
you
all-
guys each get 3 minutes.
Okay, so,
So if he's done.
Are you done, sir?
We'll reset the time, and then you can speak.
oh, okay. well,
Yes.
I'll
Okay, so
Talk a
now-
lot less than 3
here you
minutes.
go. Now you're
Oh,
on.
Thank you. Okay. We live right there. Our patio faces that road, and I have seen on a number of occasions, many of our residents from Chanticleer, we're 55 and older, and many of our folks have mobility problems, and they're walking with their rollators or whatever, and they're crossing that street. And I'll look up to the right, and I'll see one of these sports cars getting ready to come down, and I've been quite fearful for them, and I've been very grateful that up until now, nothing has happened, but I think it's just a matter of time. And all we're asking for is a speed limit sign and perhaps some bumps, those speed bumps, that would at least make our community feel safer. It's not just us, we're Chanticleer, and we're 65 and older. We also have a smaller community called Palmland Villas, and those are multi-age, so we got kids coming from back there. We also have Serrano and Country Trail, and there are children also living in those communities. So we believe, a major safety issue that needs to be addressed by our city and by people like you who work so hard for us. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you. Next, hold on, you want to let them go? Okay.
Thank you. I'm Marla Wright, and I also live at 1566 Palmland. And
You
this
turn the
morning,
mic a little bit closer.
I'm too loud.
That's okay, I know, I'm on your tiptoes, I know.
And this morning, at approximately 9:15 to 9:30, I was walking my two pups on the city sidewalk behind the villa down towards Hunter's Run, and saw was turning right at the end of the sidewalk where it ends to see my neighbor, Harriet, who's on our board, and a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, it was red in color, it came out of that Hunter's Run gate. And I promise you, everybody here on the commission, you can check with the gate person that's there, because there's a record of that vehicle leaving Hunter's Run at that time was going at least 80 miles per hour. There is no speed limit sign on either side of that road. The only place there is a speed limit sign is halfway between Congress and the park, in the middle of the park where the tennis courts and children's playground is. Somebody almost got killed. I mean, I don't want to witness this. It is definitely a severe safety issue. Speed limit signs and possibly a couple of speed bumps. The other issue, I don't know if you can address it or not, is a turnaround. Somebody's going to get injured, not me, but an elderly person walking with a walker. There are many gentlemen out there with walkers on that sidewalk. There is no place for anybody to turn around, especially in the evening hours. People race down there and they turn around by backing up onto your sidewalk and the grass, and sometimes into our yards. Our backyard, they've hit and it's about to fall over, the cable, but they've fixed it, I don't know how many times. It's loose now. And I've witnessed it, at least, I'm not back there that often, 2 or 3 times where they've backed up onto the sidewalk. There are children coming with their fast electric, skateboards, and somebody's going to get hurt. There are many women walking from the park with their babies and strollers, and they're not here, but my other neighbor had a dog further down a few days ago, and a FedEx truck was coming out on Palmland right there in front of the park, and somebody was flying down Summit Drive into Charter, and there was almost a very bad accident. If she was standing there with her dog at that time, she would have been severely injured. So thank you, Commissioner. But there are some severe safety issues there to be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please, sir.
My name is Albert Edwin Wright III. I live at 1566 Palmland Drive. I'm a disabled veteran and very concerned not only about the elderly using walkers, but women or ladies walking their dogs getting hit because there's no speed limit signs, there's no speed bumps, as well as I'm very concerned with the other issue, not only people coming out, but people coming in. There's no dead end sign because people come down there every day and turn around and back up on our to the sidewalk and go over our sprinklers and destroy them and then go back out, not realizing it's really like a dead end or just an entrance to Hunter's Run, back entrance on the north side. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you. And next, please.
Susan Oyer, Boynton Beach. So I'm giving you a nice handy dandy little handout so it gives you something fun in color to look at tonight. So as we're moving forward on Pence Park, I had sent an email to the mayor and the city manager, and I've expressed this over the years. This is not the first time I've handed this out, about how we should be looking at eco parking, because if you're going to be putting parking in that park and any other parks going forward, we should be looking at a grid and gravel system or a grid and grass system. If you want to see how it works, feel free to stop by my house, as I have the only city commission approved driveway like that in the city, and take a look on heavy rain days, and you'll see I don't flood in any way, shape, or form. But this is used all over the world, especially in our hopefully new sister city in France, where they use it in all the public parking. So I want you to take a look at this so you can better understand it if you don't know what this is and how it works. And Andrew and Adam were on at the meetings when mine got approved, so that I'm sure they can tell you all about it because they had to listen to me complaining when they tried to say it wasn't. Also, I passed out something on appropriate trees, because as we're looking to add more trees into our city, maybe you want to look at effective trees to add, especially around Pence Park, where we need to have more trees added. Also, you should note that 2 of those trees on Pence Park itself are probably close to 100 years old. And I certainly hope they are not on the list to be removed, or you're going to see me out there screaming about it. And then, of course, the banyans across the way with those houses that do need to go, because those are very, very, very old. We should be looking at the corner house on the corner of Southeast 4th and Southeast 5th. It's the big house across from Pence Park. That is actually Conrad Piquel's old workshop, and the wall out front has his stained glass in it, and one of the last couple owners has painted over it, and that is historically significant, and that glass should be saved. And I desperately want pieces, so if you know who's got that and owns it and is going to sell it, I would love to have a couple of pieces of his glass. That was his actual workshop for years when he lived in Boynton Beach. So while I'm not advocating for us to take it on and save it as a historic preservation project, although I'd love to see that happen, realistically it's not, but I think we need to save that stained glass. And I'm going to put in a quick little plug for, once again, I bring this up every couple years, former retired police officer Rick Ross died during COVID. He is one of our first COVID deaths, and we have yet to do anything to honor this man in our city, and he is one of the most important officers in our city's history and has taught thousands and thousands of people, I could be wrong, hundreds and hundreds maybe, of people martial arts and how to protect themselves in this city. He was the epitome of what an officer should be after retirement, and we need to be supporting him. Thank you.
Sir?
Hi, Steve Gallagher again, Bamboo Lane on the annexation. As you all know, this was on the agenda several months ago. There was quite a bit of opposition that was voiced at that time, and so the issue was tabled. I'm not sure what's changed between then and now, although tonight on the agenda I see that it says staff recommends approval. So that concerns me a little bit that, somebody's already made up their mind on something, but I just want to reiterate my opposition to it. We're only talking about roughly 12 houses on Bamboo and Palmer. There is 100% opposition with all the residents. Unfortunately, a lot of my neighbors were traveling, busy, out of town. There's not as many, here tonight to speak on it, but, there is 100% opposition. Nobody wants it. I think most of you are also aware of the letter that the county wrote and the legal opinion that they gave, which the county doesn't want it either. I spoke to County Commissioner Weiss today, and he still maintains that the county is still in talks to buy the city of Boynton utility, and they still are basically backing us that they don't want to see the annexation either. In addition, in that letter, they talk about the way that, some of this has been discussed as a voluntary annexation because some of us have signed papers over the years. The county went on to show that, most of those signatures were obtained illegally. They won't stand up if they're challenged. Many of the residents are newly moved in, so you don't even have signatures from those people. You have them from the previous owners. So the bottom line is that, nobody is in favor of it. I'm not sure why the push to get these 12 houses. There's a lot of unincorporated properties in that corridor between Boynton and Delray. So, we've been really left in the dark. We don't have a lot of information on why or, what's in it for us, which, is aside the point because we've all, as I said, we all bought in the county, we like the county, and we want to stay county. So I would just ask that you take into account what the residents want and factor that in and also, hopefully avoid any future litigation that it could lead to. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Billy Cunningham, 3425 South Lake Drive. I want to congratulate all you guys for purchasing the Boynton Inn. I think it's great. You guys jumped to it, demoed it very quickly, got rid of the blighted hotel. I think congrats to that. As the owner rep of the 13 parcels next door, we chased that hotel for about 2 years. We were about to purchase it as well, but when we were in talks with the city, we could never get a density to make sense with what we had already. So we got discouraged and we backed out of buying the hotel. Now you guys have purchased it, and we've been in negotiations on our property for quite some time, and you guys continue to keep pushing it down the road, and now we're getting discouraged with that. We have a lot of interest on the property, piecing it out. And ownership has advised me that if we can't come to some type of agreement within, by the March 13th, as Chris Brown discussed from the CRA, the director, that we're going to list the properties individually and sell them out because it just seems whatever we do, we just can't come to some type of conclusion if we want to get the density for our parcels. And, whatever you guys decide to do, it's the city's decision. I think the people of Boynton Beach need to come out and support it, or, you guys will have that 2.2 acres that you purchased, and you guys can kind of continue to go down that road and figure out what you guys want to do with that property. And I hope, you guys paid a hefty price for that. So I don't know if you'll be able to get the density you want, but I think with the Live Local, you will be able to. But besides whatever you want to do, an idea that I have for you guys that would be a benefit for that property, I think before you give it to a developer, I think you need to annex a portion, a little area closest to I-95, and I think the city needs to own it and deed it to the city for life and put a billboard there. And you can bring in a revenue stream so that the city of Boynton Beach can have some revenue and make some money off of it, okay? And I'm in a huge support for relocating Josie's to South Federal Highway and doing their townhouse development, and I think it would be very silly not to approve that because I think that's the area that would bridge Delray Beach to Boynton Beach. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Next, please.
Good evening, Barbara Reedy, and tonight I am representing the Boynton Beach Historical Society as its president. We have several events coming up that I wanted to make sure everyone is aware of. Everyone's invited, they're free. The first one will be January 26th. Dr. Evan Bennett is going to speak to us about the Highwayman artists. He's an expert. That's a free program at the Presbyterian Church on 6th Avenue. And then on February 7th is our free Highwayman art show and sale, which will be held in the gym at the Arts and Cultural Center. The actual Highwaymen are bringing real art for sale for people to see. The postcards that we have on the back table are the poster for this year's art show and sale. So please take some. They are actual postcards. And then on February 23rd, we have Janet Naughton, who's going to speak to us about her new book, Sunlit Arches. And in February, the program is about Bernard Thomas. His daughter, Sarah Bolenbacher, is going to speak to us about Bernard Thomas. She is also the daughter of Betty Thomas, for those who don't know that they were husband and wife. And then in April 27th, the program will be about the 65 types of mangoes. And the gentleman is going to bring us mango ice cream. So we're in discussions about reinstituting our potluck dinner on April 27th. So we hope that you will come and attend that. And while I have everyone's attention, I want to bring up tomorrow night is Forest Park's community meeting, also at the church on 6th Avenue for folks who live in Forest Park. And also East Boynton Beach Little League's opening night will be February 6th. And thank you, Kevin Ramsey, wherever you are, for helping us juice up the Little League field. I appreciate that very much. And I also want to talk about Regina Fay and Michaela Luis in favor of them being granted waivers tonight. If Mr. Katz had read their evaluations, they would know that both of these people are eminently qualified to serve on your advisory boards. And he's the only one I've ever heard speak against granting waivers to people. So thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Hi, good evening. My name is Mabin Chada. I am a resident here in Boynton Beach. I'm a tax-paying citizen, and I'm asking you guys to take some consideration of some things that I'm bringing up. I think there is an urgent safety issue in Boynton Beach. Every corner, every major corner between traffic lights, the entrance is off of 95, northbound, southbound, all you're seeing is this aggressive panhandling happening. If you don't believe me, I hope you notice that next time you drive. And it's becoming dangerous. It's becoming dangerous for the drivers that are driving and also the individuals that are there. I decided to pick up the phone and call the local police department, the non-emergency number. The response I got is, we are busy, we have limited resources, and we give citation and whatever the court makes of it. That is unacceptable. I drive to and from to local stores. I'm just gonna stop going. That's what's gonna happen within the community. They're gonna have more, they're gonna visit less and less stores. So when it comes to you beautifying the city, less people are gonna start attending these things, because I don't wanna come across as somebody aggressively panhandling or knocking on my window while I'm parked at a traffic light. That is not safe, that's not okay. Basic thing is safety. I'm not saying, push them out somewhere else, but you may need additional resources for homelessness or people that are aggressively engaging in this behavior.
Second, a few weeks ago, I called the local PD. I love the local PD. I want to make sure I say it. They are very sweet. They're responsive to the conversation. I generally think they're limited in resources. I called. I see a lady. I don't know if she was dead. She was unconscious, medically distressed, whatever it is, for more than 10 minutes in the middle of the road. And I'm seeing police going by. I've seen firefighters go by. This is right off of Boynton Beach Boulevard, right by the bus area. It's 85 degrees outside, and there's a woman just laying there. I shouldn't be the one picking up the phone and making a call. This is something, if everybody's seeing, should be responding to, especially emergency people. Lastly, I don't know if you can look into this, but there's train noise that's been increasing. I don't know if there's any mitigation factors, but it's impacting the daily life, especially since I work a lot from home. I constantly hear the noises of the train. I know it's two different topics, but I hope you guys look into this. I would really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Next, please.
Hello, my name is JP Caruso. I was born and raised here and also currently a resident of Boynton Beach. You may know my father, Mike Caruso, who's the county clerk of Palm Beach County. I would like to thank all you guys for your tremendous work that you guys have done and will continue to do for this city. I would like to express my support for Josie's moving to South Federal. Josie's is a staple here in Boynton Beach, and I believe it will help bridge that gap that's kind of a dead zone right now. I would also like to express my support in the 13 parcels that are being discussed to be purchased. I believe that Boynton is an amazing, beautiful city, and I would believe that purchasing these parcels will help Boynton Beach control its own destiny. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Good evening. My name is Katie Miller, and I live at 1057 Southwest 28th Avenue. I've been there since 1977, but no one seemed to be coming out. There is a house on Southwest 27th Avenue that they're tearing down. It's been torn down half for over 2 weeks, and I'm so afraid that some children are going to get in there and get hurt, because it's just open out and they can just walk in. And nobody seemed to, I thought when you tear down a house or something, you had to put like a fence or do something to keep people from walking in. I'm just so afraid some kids are gonna get hurt. And another thing, I've come here once before and complained about why Gulfview Harbor doesn't have police officers to come out. Only time we have a police officer, you got to call them. And I think they should come out. My street is like a parking lot. I mean, cars are just parked. I had to go around this car and go up and go around this car because it's a parking lot. And I just don't think that I think the city should do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone online?
No, Mayor, there is nobody online.
Okay. Public comment is now closed. And we are moving on to the administrative section. We need to ratify the selection of Robin Kurtzman as chair and Margaret Roberts as vice chair for the Art Advisory Board.
So moved.
Do we have a second? Okay, moving on. Next, we need to ratify the selection of Lesha Roundtree as vice chair for the Community Redevelopment Advisory Board. May I have a motion to ratify the selection?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. We have two waivers of appointment requirements to review. Regina Fay is seeking a waiver of residency requirement for the Senior Advisory Board, and Michaela Lewis is seeking a waiver of the residency requirement for the Education and Youth Board. May I have a motion for the waiver for Regina Fay?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Motion does not pass, 2-3. What is next? May I have the motion for the waiver for Michaela Lewis? Okay. Moving on to the advisory board and appointments. We have 2 applicants for the Education and Youth Advisory Board. This nomination goes to Commissioner Cruz. Would you like to make the motion? Yeah, I gotta pull it up too. Give me a minute.
I'll go ahead and nominate Sanford Purnell.
Second.
We have a motion to nominate Sanford, what's the last name? Cornell, and we have a second. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. We have 1 application for Recreation and Parks Board. The nomination goes to Commissioner Cruz again. Would you like to make a motion? Yeah, it's slow.
Okay, well, hard to say. I'll go ahead and
Good luck with that
appoint
last
Matthew
I'm not going to try on that one.
Chowski.
That was good. Okay, so we do have a motion, and we have a
Second.
second for Matthew. I'm going to butcher this. Wojciechowski. I don't know, but all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Nay. Motion passes unanimously. We have 1 application for the Senior Advisory Board. The nomination goes to Commissioner Cruz. You are a popular lady tonight.
Yeah.
No,
Would-
that one wasn't.
Oh,
We didn't,
yeah, 'cause
that
it
was a
didn't-
waiver.
Oh, we didn't get the waivers, so
Right,
that's dead,
right,
okay.
right.
Is she the one that works for Meals on Wheels? I think I saw that on her
Yes.
application. And she lives in 33436, which is really right next to Hunter's Run. Happens to be outside city limits, but it's right there.
Okay, we'd like to encourage residents to look at the advisory boards and have vacant positions available and apply. Next, we are moving on to approving the proposal for a workshop for an update to the comprehensive plan staff. Staff, would you please go ahead with your proposal?
Good evening, Amanda Radigan, Development Director. We are at the point in the overhaul of the comprehensive plan that we are seeking commission update. We have done, like Commissioner Kelly brought up, several public input workshops, along with hosted tents at several public events. And now we need to talk to you all about some of the information that we've gathered and general input on what you'd like to see in this project. Right now, we have proposed to start our next 2 commission meetings in February and do 2 workshops from 5 to 6 ahead of commission. However, it can be anything that suits your schedules. We could do a Saturday meeting or an evening meeting. We are just looking for an appropriate time for you all to give input.
If I may, Mayor, I'm okay with the 5 PM prior to the commission meetings. I'm okay with that. I'd rather not come in on a Saturday, but willing to do so if needed.
Are we expecting a certain time frame for this type of meeting, at least an hour, 2 hours?
I would say to go, because we will be reviewing all 9 elements.
Yeah, that's a
Some are
big
much
deal.
heavier than others, which is why we're proposing 2 of them. We would like to keep it to an hour. If we need a third one after we finish these 2, we can schedule 1 more if needed. But I understand we don't want to run it too much over into the commission meeting time. So it is possible to keep hosting them 1 hour before the commission meeting if that works best.
I would be open to, I know you guys talked about having a workshop at one point. If we could just have 1 long workshop on a Saturday morning, I would be open to that. So we don't have to rush through the commission meeting items. And that way we might only have to do it once and not 2 or 3 times. And just kind of complete that task.
For a different evening.
I'm open to that, maybe January 31st. I think there's also an alternative where maybe we pick a week, we come in, we knock it out, staff's coming in on Saturday. I think that's something to be, thoughtful about, because for me personally, I want to have everyone there. If I'm having questions, I don't want to, have half the team and, just hear, oh, we'll wait till next week to get an answer. So I'm just thinking logistically what makes the most sense and what's the best benefit of our time and staff's time.
What about a different weeknight?
Thursday or
Right, what about a different weeknight as opposed to a Saturday? Because I know, Mayor, I know that Saturdays are difficult for
Yeah,
you, so.
if we were going to do it on a Saturday,
We could do it
I prefer
on
we
a-
start pretty early because that's it's when I work for the most part.
Right.
What about the week that we don't have commission meeting, having it on that Tuesday or Thursday?
That would be better for me because Saturdays are problematic based on other duties and responsibilities I have on Saturday.
Do we
So
want to do the
I would
31st,
be,
I
31st is a Saturday? I'd be
Thir-
okay to do the 29th, that Thursday, if we want to do
that
it during the
Thursday,
week?
February
Yeah.
20,
Yeah, January 29th? Next week?
if I could get 2 dates, that would be great, because we would
Yeah.
also need to confirm with our consultants as well as a space. It might not be this space because we have advisory board meetings just about every night.
Do you
But
want
we
to?
can work that out.
Do you want to speak with them and see what nights are better and then
Yeah.
get back to us and staff can coordinate? We can coordinate a date that way as opposed to us
can do
giving
that.
dates and then having to come back and go back and forth. I'm just
Okay, we
thinking.
can at least if
the
it's a
ease.
Thursday evenings, or evenings is what we're looking
Thursday evening.
towards.
Yeah,
Yep.
Thursday.
Thursday evening.
Okay, okay. And one long one we're proposing, right? So I can schedule 3 hours, like.
Right.
Okay, okay.
Preferably
Okay.
when we don't have a commission meeting.
Yes. Yeah, so I will,
Tuesday
I
or
will get availability. I will send it to the aides to coordinate with you all.
Perfect.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay. The last item under administration is just discussion to move the March 17th commission meeting due to the National League of Cities being held March 14th to the 18th. This would be the last meeting for our honorable Vice Mayor Hay. And where incumbent Amy Kelly and Mac McCray would be sworn in as commissioners. Staff is recommending any day between March 23rd and 26th. So it's-
So we're not canceling it because it's St. Patrick's Day? Because that's really why I would want to cancel it.
I'm okay for the 23rd, that Monday.
23rd, yeah, I have it in my calendar already.
That's fine.
Okay. So Shauna, do we just need the consensus that we're all agreeing for the 23rd? Everybody's good for the 23rd,
Mr. McCray available?
6 PM. Okay.
Do what you want to do.
Okay, and as we mentioned before, at this time, yes, we will. At this time, Vice Mayor Hay has requested to add 2 community support funds, one for the Boynton Beach Bulldogs in the amount of $1,000, and one for the Boynton Beach Bulldog Cheerleaders in the amount of $500. May we have a motion to approve these 2 community support funds?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor of approving the community support fund, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay.
Thank you.
Motion passes unanimously. We will now be moving on to the consent agenda. If my colleagues want to pull any items from consent, let's begin on my left with Commissioner Turkin.
Nope, motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion to approve and we have a second. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously. We will now move on to consent bids and purchases. If my colleagues would like to pull any items, let's begin on my right with Commissioner Cruz
For me, thank you.
and Vice Mayor Hay
None for me.
and Commissioner Kelly
No, thank you, Mayor.
and Commissioner Turkin.
Motion to approve?
Second?
We have a motion to approve the consent bids and we have a second, and purchases, and we have a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on. We have 7 public hearing items. Public comment is permitted for all items. Items A, 8 through C, and 8A through C, and 8E through G are quasi-judicial. The commission will make their disclosures when we reach those items. I will now turn to the clerk to swear in anyone here to speak on items A through C and E to G.
Anyone here to speak on items 8A through C and E through G, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may have a seat.
The next 3 items are for one property, so if each commissioner can make any disclosures at this time regarding items 8A through C. Commissioner Cruz, we could start with you.
I don't have any for it.
Do you need this?
Yeah, you have to read the.
Oh, sorry. As to this matter, I have not had ex parte communications. I have not received written communications. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert opinions other than staff. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
As to this matter, I have not had expert communication. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a visit. I have not received expert opinion. I request that these disclosures and written communication be part of the record.
Commissioner Kelly?
Thank you, Mayor. As to this matter, I have not had ex parte communications. I have received written communications from Mr. Pavlin. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert opinions. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
Commissioner Turkin?
As to this matter, I have not had expert communications. I have not conducted an investigation. I've not made a site visit. I've not received expert opinions. I request that these disclosures and all written communications may be part of the record.
Regarding item 8A through C, I have not had any ex parte communication, I've not received written communication, I've not conducted an investigation, have not made a site visit, and have not received expert opinions. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be part of the record. I'll turn to the clerk to read items 8A, B, and C into the record, please.
8A is proposed ordinance number 25-042, second reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending ordinance number 89-38 by amending the future land use map of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida for an approximately 64.54 acre parcel of real property generally located west of High Ridge Road between Hypoluxer Road and Minor Road by changing the future land use designation from LDR to low density residential to recreation, declaring the proposed amendment to the future land use map to be consistent with all other elements of the comprehensive plan of the city, providing for severability, conflicts, and providing for an effective date. B is proposed ordinance number 25-043, second reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida for the High Ridge Country Club, amending ordinance number 02-13 to rezone approximately 64.54 acres generally located west of High Ridge Road between Hypoluxer Road and Minor Road from single-family residential district to recreation, and declaring the proposed amendment to be consistent with the comprehensive plan of the city, providing for severability, conflicts, and providing for an effective date. C is proposed ordinance number 25-044, second reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, approving the abandonment of a portion of the 60-foot wide northwest 7th Court right-of-way, commencing at the south line of the Stanford Park Plat and terminating at the north right-of-way line of Minor Road, authorizing the city manager to execute a disclaimer, which shall be recorded with this ordinance in the public records of Palm Beach County, Florida, providing an effective date and for all other purposes.
Thank you. This is the second reading. Staff, have there been any changes?
There have been no changes. The only, Gabe Savigny, Principal Planner. There's been no changes. The only updated has been through the state review process with no opposition from the state.
Are there any comments from the commissioners? Public comment is permitted at this time. If someone would like to come down and speak, a public comment for items 8A through C.
Good evening. My name is Dimitar Pavlov, and I'm a resident and a homeowner at High Ridge area. I live east of High Ridge Road, right by the area in question. After reviewing the documents that are attached to this rezoning application, I would like to raise an important concern. The application references expansion of a golf course into the adjacent wooded area, but it does not specify how far that expansion would extend into the land. This is not just a scrub or vacant property. It is a mature and dense wooded area that has developed over many decades with very large and tall mature trees. The land is designated as a sensitive environmental zone A and B, which requires extensive wildlife surveys and environmental protections. I respectfully propose that any rezoning approval be conditional. The applicant should be required to clearly define how far the expansion would go, and the remaining land should be permanently preserved to protect wildlife and natural habitat. There are state-protected species in the area, such as gopher tortoises that we all know. And that's pretty much what I proposed. I sent an email to, I believe, most of you. And my personal opinion here is that unless residents drive by, walk by, and see in person the actual area, they cannot really realize the importance of that nature. It is, again, not just a scrub area or simple yard. I watched the last hearing from November, and it felt like on one side, yes, the owners are looking just for rezoning so they can unify the zoning of the entire property of theirs. But at the same time, it is not a matter of are we afraid that there will be residential homes built, or the golf course wants to maintain unity of the zoning. The concern here is the nature, and while we're all about improving the city, we also should be always concerned about balance of nature and human development. And anyone who drives by that nature will realize how important that is. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Okay. If there's nothing else, may we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 25-042 on second reading?
Real quick, Mayor, I'm sorry. Can staff, I would like to address some of the concerns because I know I think that since it's second reading, they're not doing a whole presentation. There was a whole presentation. So could you just briefly for the public, just kind of explain how our land use works, what those requirements are, and maybe just kind of go over that. And I think that then it might address some concerns.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Staff has looked at all of the comments that have been made. All of those comments are really addressed during site plan, not during future land use and rezoning. These are standard zoning districts, which means they don't have to run concurrently with the site plan. Site plans will be submitted separately and may be minor or major in nature, which would depict how they would be approved. So things like taking down mature trees are handled through staff. There are different ways that it may be able to happen. They are set boundaries on where it could expand because it is rated property. So overall, only 25% would be able to be taken down, and they would need to mitigate anything that is taken down. Surveys will be required. All of that is required at site plan, not during land use and rezoning.
Thank you. Do you have anything?
No, but you can speak to staff after they're available.
No, from my understanding, I think this was just an extension of the golf course. There isn't going to be any impact that's residential or commercial. And if there was any impact to the environmental species there, I think they would need to conduct an environmental study in that area. And if there was indeed a protected species, I think it'd be a little bit more difficult for them to pursue any changes there.
That is correct. This is a rezoning actually from a single-family zoning district
Right.
to a recreation zoning district.
If anything, it's less impactful from what I remember, when we discussed last time.
The golf course has stated an intent to expand some of their holes, to make some pond modifications, aside from that minimal impact.
And in addition to do that, they would have to go through the proper process of an environmental
Absolutely.
study and everything else. Okay, yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, motion to approve?
Second.
Okay. Now we have to turn for a roll call.
Good job.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hay?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
And a roll call vote, the motion passed unanimously.
Okay, so that was 2502. We're moving on to motion 2503. on a second reading. Nothing, is there anything from staff on this, or we just go ahead and?
We got
Did you vote on each one at a time?
We gotta
A,
do
B, and C?
motion to approve ordinance number 25, TAC 043.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion to approve proposed ordinance on 25-043 on second reading. We have a second. Let's turn to clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin.
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hay.
Yes.
Mayor Shelton.
Yes.
And roll call vote, the motion passed unanimously.
Okay. And then now we would need a motion to proposed ordinance number 25-044 on second reading.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Cruz moved to approve ordinance number Commissioner Turkin, ordinance number 25043. We have a second from Commissioner Kelly and a roll call vote. Go for it.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin.
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hay.
Yes.
Mayor Shelton.
Yes.
And roll call vote, the motion passed unanimously.
Okay. Now I need to turn to the clerk to read items 8D into the record.
8D, proposed ordinance number 25-045, second reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 3, Article 3, Section 2, G, IPUD, Chapter 3, Article 4, Section 3, Use Regulations, Chapter 4, Article 3, Section 8A3B, Plaza Requirements, and Chapter 4, Article 4, Section 4C1, Signs, amending IPUD infill planned unit development for clarifications that only residential uses are permitted, providing for codification, conflict, severability, and an effective date.
Second reading, staff, have there been any changes?
Gabe Savigny, Principal Planner. No, Mayor.
Any comments or questions from the commission? Public comment is permitted at this time. If anyone would like to speak on the issue, please come on down. If there's nothing else, may we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 25-045 on second reading?
So moved.
Second.
We have a roll call.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin.
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hay.
Yes.
Mayor Shelton.
Yes.
And roll call vote, the motion passed unanimously.
Okay. These next three items are for one property, so if each commissioner can please make any disclosures at this time regarding items 8E through G.
We need to swear people in first.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
We swear them in at the same
Oh,
time.
I'm sorry, you did everyone?
all
I'm
together.
sorry.
Okay,
I
that's okay.
apologize.
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it.
As to
Commissioner
this
Cruz.
matter, I have received expert communications from Stephanie Sedekassi. I have also received written communications. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert opinions other than staff. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
Vice Mayor Hay.
I have not had ex-part communication. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit, and I have not received expert opinion. I request these disclosure and all written communication be part of the record.
Commissioner Turkin, you want to go to yours, and then we'll go this way.
No to everything. Thanks.
You have to say it.
With all due respect, they were doing it wrong.
Well, then, does that mean that everything we voted on is ineligible?
It wasn't challenged, so the
Right.
time to challenge that would
I'm
be
just-
wrong.
But this can be made part of the record. No to everything. I can give this to the city clerk. Thank you.
Okay.
As to this matter, I have not had ex parte communications. I have received written communications from representatives from the applicant. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert opinions. I request that these disclosures and all written communication be made part of the record.
Regarding item 8E through G, I have not had any ex parte communication. I have received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert opinions. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be part of the record. I'll turn to the clerk to read items 8E, F, and G into the record, please.
Proposed ordinance number 26-002, first reading, an ordinance of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending the future land use map for the northern approximately 0.72 acre portion of a 1.34 acre unified property located at 3047 North Federal Highway by changing the future land use designation from special high-density residential to general commercial, providing that the remaining approximately 0.61 acre portion of the property shall retain its special high-density residential future land use designation, and declaring the amendment to be consistent with all other elements of the comprehensive plan of the City of Boynton Beach, providing for severability conflicts, and providing for an effective date. Proposed ordinance number 26-003, first reading, and ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending the official zoning map of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida for the northern approximately 0.72 acre portion of a 1.34 acre unified property generally located at 3047 North Federal Highway by changing the zoning designation to infill planned unit development to community commercial, providing that the remaining approximately 0.61 acre portion of the property shall retain its IPUD zoning designation, providing for severability conflicts, and providing for an effective date. And G is proposed new major site plan for new 4,733 square foot structure for Josie's Restaurant at 3047 North Federal Highway, subject to the approval of the companion future land use map amendment and rezoning requests.
This is the first reading. Staff, can you please begin your presentation?
Can the applicant please present for themselves at this point?
Good evening. For the record, I'm not Bradley Miller. My name's Joni Brinkman. I'm with Urban Design Studio on behalf of the applicant. We had a conflict on a couple of hearings at the same time, so I do have a PowerPoint presentation. I did want to point out first, though, that item G, staff is recommending that we table that till the second reading of the land use and the zoning application. And at that time, we will provide a full presentation of the proposed site plan, the elevations, the floor plans. We have an excellent architect, Randall Stoff, who's working on the project. Again, this is for Josie's. It's been mentioned a couple of times tonight. They are an establishment that's been here many years. They're a staple of the community, and they're excited to be able to go into a new building eventually. There are some time constraints associated with this. Their lease is up in November. They've already submitted permits for the construction of the facility, and are hoping this will move to February with your recommendation of approval tonight. I'm not sure how to. Oh.
Is there a specific meeting date you wish to table it to?
That would be the February date for second reading. I think it's February
3rd?
3rd, yes.
Okay. We have to do a motion for that when we get to it.
So I'll have a very short presentation just in regards to the land use and the zoning requests, which the clerk has already went over. The project location is east of Federal Highway, south of Woolbright. You'll know where the current location is at Woolbright, right there on the intercoastal. This is near the vicinity of the Walmart property as well. To the north is already commercial, and there's some property to the south. Again, the request is the future land use for only the 0.72 acres of the property, the north 0.72 acres, to go from the high-density 20 to the GC land use, and the rezoning from IPUD to C3. There is no request for the south, and you already did approve. This was one unified parcel, and on the consent agenda, you had already earlier tonight approved the release of that unity. And again, the major site plan for the new building, which will be approximately 4,733 square feet with outdoor seating, we're requesting to be tabled. Again, this shows you the area of the parcel that is being requested to be amended for the land use and the zoning, and the remainder of the parcel that will continue to be, retain its current land use and zoning designation. And again, same for the rezoning, IPUD to C3 for only the .72 acres that we're speaking of, consistent with the land use being requested and with the existing commercial to the north, so it fits into this corridor. Really, that's about the extent of my presentation tonight, with the site plan being tabled to February 3rd, at which time we would prepare and present a complete site plan application presentation. So we are looking for your support on first reading for both land use and zoning.
Thank you. Any comments from the commission?
Go ahead.
Yep, as discussed with staff, as well as I think we had a phone call, my only concern with switching the zoning is live local, switching it to commercial. So I just wanted to get a commitment that that's not the intent here, and it's just to build a restaurant.
Our applicant's intent purely is they've already got permits in, they've expended a considerable amount of funds, they purchased the property, they want to continue the Josie's restaurant use within the city to service the residents, and many of us who don't even live in Boynton do drive there.
Thank you.
No, I'm always happy to see any rezoning from high density to commercial. I guess the question about local is a very good one, Commissioner Cruz. Your word's great, doesn't hold up in court. Can we incorporate something? Is there any legal mechanism we can utilize?
I actually
And then real quick, second part question maybe for Adam or Amanda. Is this within the 1 mile of the downtown, or is it outside of that live local? Or is it 1 mile within the next project, and then that can continue to branch out? Which would be
The
the
next
dunes?
project,
Yeah, I think that would be the dunes, which, if that's the case, I think the dunes
100
is,
units per acre.
the dunes is within a mile.
It would be where it is currently permitted. So I feel like that's a little bit of a trick question.
Right.
And hasn't been challenged, right? So I would argue that it is permitted in the core, not permitted in the dunes, because the dunes was a live local project. That would be my argument. Probably that would be challenged.
Got it.
From a legal standpoint, we cannot restrict anything, either voluntary or involuntary, a covenant. Because state law allows live local, we cannot go behind and circumvent what is allowed by state law. So that is absolutely not permissible. Even if they were voluntarily willing to do that, it would be unenforceable.
Is there an opportunity to at least acknowledge in writing that their intent is not to? I mean, I don't think that is us, I don't think that's us saying they can or cannot, or making it positional. I think to have that good faith, it's great, it's great. It'd be greater for me to see that in writing. I don't think that's us telling them, no, they can't do live local there.
They could certainly put it in writing, but I could tell you, it's not worth the paper it's written on. From a legal standpoint, we couldn't enforce anything on that.
one thing,
But I
if
think
if I may.
I think that provides a historical context and document that if there was something that happened later down the road, and that if the law is changed with live local, and for some reason, and again, this is a hypothetical, and I trust that your clients are going to do Josie's. I don't imagine them attempting an okey-doke whatsoever. However, I'd rather operate into oh well than in what if avenue.
Commissioner Durgan, they did provide a justification statement, and their application clearly says that they intend to do a restaurant at a certain square footage. So we do have their intent in writing.
I'm just asking if we.
Not for, it doesn't say anything about live local,
Right.
if that's the
So,
question,
Commissioner,
okay.
if I may. I had some talks earlier, and I think what I was going to propose is to see if we could make it a condition of approval to AG, which is the major site plan approval, to make it a condition of that you will not be building residential in that area where the rezoning is happening into commercial. That was kind of my point. I know we've done We've done conditions of approval before for rezoning. We did it at townhouses on Federal Highway. It's been done before, and actually it was, I think.
Commissioner Cruz, what even if there is a condition of approval, that wouldn't supersede state law to allow them to do it.
So just some talking points that, so all of that is completely preempted by Florida statute. So any zoning that we do would be considered illegal, whether it's zoning or any restriction whatsoever would be deemed illegal and subject us to lawsuit and a challenge. They're lawful, unenforceable, and it's inconsistent with state law. It's just we can't do it the way that Live Local is currently written.
I don't think that there's, at least for me, and what it sounds like, Commissioner Cruz, I don't think we're trying to make this a hard condition of approval or restrict anyone's rights or uses. I think what we're doing is just creating a historical context and document saying, we had this conversation, you guys agreed in writing, and that way, if the laws do change and there is opportunity to then challenge, right? Because I think there is a lot of conversation about Live Local and amendments, that could happen over the next few years. I just want to make sure that the city is doing their due diligence. And again, I'm sorry that this is an elongated conversation, but I hope you can understand we're just doing our due diligence to make sure that, we're not doing this rezoning and then your clients change your mind. And then now we're in a reality where, we just made an error. And at least for me being the district commissioner, my constituency is sick of the, hey, Brad, how's it going? Sick of the increased density, right? And so, it's my duty to make sure that I can do whatever I can to prevent that from happening, because it's been happening, not just in our city, but, all over the county and the state.
I'm not sure if Brad wants to take over, but all I would like to say that maybe prior to second reading on both of these and the presentation of the site plan, we can get some additional legal input. However, the applicant has went to extensive costs to date to prepare all the drawings, the architecture, the permitting. They're in the audience, and maybe we can, have some additional conversations, but my understanding is their intent is to build the restaurant. And they're shaking their heads. Sorry, Bradley.
I'm going to jump in, probably need to be sworn in.
Yes, please, thank you.
Sorry, I'm too old to do 2 hearings in one night in 2 jurisdictions.
But you're here.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
So thank you for obliging me here. And we've been working on this for a while. I think some of you are aware of the constraints that they're under. They actually have permit applications submitted. They're in process. They're fully committed with this part of the property being a commercial restaurant it's Josie's. I think I said to Joni when I begged her to come and be my surrogate, if you've been in Boynton Beach and haven't been to Josie's, you're missing something. So, thankfully they're staying here in the city. And so we're just trying to help to get them through. Staff has been great in expediting this as much as they could. And so we're full steam ahead, replace it with Josie's.
Yeah, and I think, again, there's more conversation to be had with the item G with the site plan, so.
And that, Shauna, with the site plan, is there a way that we can protect? No, okay.
Any
Can we
restrictive
create
covenant?
conditions of approval for the site plan when it comes up? 'Cause it's-
Not, yes, but
Done it
not,
before.
but not as it relates to Live Local. We cannot,
As it relates to a condition of rezoning?
I think we can't hinder any Live Local project. However, if the intention isn't Live Local, it's just the use of residential or multifamily, I think that's a different argument.
All right, under the presumption that it will not be used for Live Local and just for Josie's Restaurant, and They've been here for 30 years. I will make a motion to approve.
Second.
We need public comment.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm proud of myself again. If anyone else wants to speak from the public, now is the time to come up, or else we will keep moving.
Have you been sworn in?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I didn't stand up, but I did
Okay.
raise my hand. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, being lazy because I was knitting. Susan Oyer, Boynton Beach, I was there at Josie's last night having an outstanding dinner. So, yeah, she probably saw the pictures on social media. I say, let's go for this, but I love that Commissioners Cruz and Turkin are fighting live local, anti-height, anti-density. Thank you for doing the right thing by our city. We appreciate it. But yes, I think we should go forward with this, and I'm sure they're going to do the right thing because, you know, they're fine, upstanding people in our community. So thank you.
Great. If there is no other public comment, do we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 26-002?
So moved.
Second.
Do we have a motion and we have a motion, we have a
Question.
second? Pardon me? Did you
Are
say?
we including the restrictions there?
Can't.
We cannot.
No, we
So
can't.
It is as printed.
Correct.
So we need, we need to approve E and F, and then a motion to table G.
Right. Individually, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
is just
So
O2.
moved.
Thank you.
So two, okay. Let's turn to the clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin,
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hay,
Yes.
Mayor Shelton,
Yes.
and roll call vote, the motion passed unanimously.
Great. We have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 26-003
So
on
moved.
first reading.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for a roll call.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin,
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hay,
Yes.
Mayor Shelton,
Yes.
and roll call vote, the motion passed unanimously.
Okay. Moving on, staff has asked for the major site plan to be tabled.
Motion to table
Until February
Second.
3rd.
till February 3rd.
We have a motion to table until February 3rd, and we have a second.
Second.
Is that a roll call, or that's a regular vote? Okay, all those
Yes.
in favor say aye.
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 Aye, all those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on, the first item on the regular agenda will be proposed resolution number 26-011, in approval for interlocal agreement for the Bamboo Lane Enclave annexation. Staff, do you have a presentation?
All right, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. And yes, I do have a brief presentation to provide some context and background, because I know this area had been before the board. I believe it was in September for a different method of annexation. So I wanted to explain how this differs from what was before the board. All right, so this item consists of a resolution authorizing the execution of an interlocal agreement between the city of Boynton Beach as well as Palm Beach County for the annexation of an enclave totaling approximately 4.61 acres. Now, one thing I wanted to highlight is Florida statute is very clear on the different methods by which an annexation can occur. And one of those sections deals with the annexation of enclaves. And there's a very specific definition in Florida statute as to what can be considered, or what is an enclave. And as it states in that first subsection, that it is the policy of the state of Florida to remove enclaves because they create provisions with service delivery issues, and it's specifically for areas that are less than 110 acres, in area which this site does. It's well under 110 acres. And as part of this annexation method, it allows for a municipality and the county that currently has jurisdiction over that area to enter into an interlocal agreement that then would allow for that annexation. So kind of the steps in this process, because this is different than what was before the City Commission previously, is the first action would be for the City of Boynton Beach to agree to that interlocal agreement. I will say that staff, both at the planning level as well as City and County Attorney's Office, has worked on the interlocal and at a staff level is in agreement with this process. Should the City Commission approve the interlocal agreement tonight, then that will be scheduled before the Board of County Commissioners for their action. then should that adoption occur, then we will be back before this city commission for the land use and zoning changes that would be required on the properties upon an annexation. So with that, staff is recommending approval of the resolution.
Any comments from staff? I mean, from the commission?
No, I think this is part of the county's comprehensive plan. Ultimately, the county is going to make this decision if the board moves forward tonight. So I think, you know, this isn't the end-all, be-all. This is going to punt it back to the county.
We have a motion to approve proposed resolution number R26-011.
move.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Nay, motion passes unanimously. We know I start getting tired at like 8:39. I'm like 100 years old inside. Do we need to make a motion to table the?
Motion to table 10B.
Second.
We have a motion to table 10B, and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Next item will be a discussion regarding the Marina District overlay. Does staff have a presentation?
Yes, and I realize I forgot to introduce myself on the previous item. Kevin Fisher, Planning and Zoning Division Director. I apologize for that. So this item is a follow-up to the November 8th joint CRA City Commission meeting that you all held on a Saturday. And one of the directives that was given at that meeting was for staff to do some initial research into creating a Marina District overlay within the city. So we are back with some preliminary information and then also want to seek some more specific guidance and directives so that staff can then bring back at a subsequent meeting either a draft to work through with the board or to bring back something for first reading. So here, this was just a slide highlighting some of the goals from other areas where we've seen some similar initiatives. Obviously, economic development is a big component of such an overlay, increasing that tax base, providing an area with an emphasis on certain targeted uses, particularly with this overlay would be marine industry type uses. We did look locally. There aren't too many examples in the immediate area of municipality having such an overlay. One, though, example in the county is the city of Palm Beach Gardens. They did adopt a Marina District overlay in 2024. Their geographic area is relatively small. It's generally properties fronting PGA Boulevard that also have frontage along the Intracoastal Waterway. And they have encouraged uses specified within their overlay. And theirs is to provide a mix of uses that support active public use and enjoyment of the Intracoastal Waterway. And then some of the uses that they specifically target are retail, personal services, marinas, public parks, as well as public recreation centers. So here, just preliminary, I apologize, I should have faded that background a little bit more, but some ideas for targeted uses would be restaurants, cafes, marina, as well as marina support uses. So there are obviously retail components that would support the marinas themselves. Obviously, local businesses, big component of it, hotel space. And a big economic driver would be enclosed dry boat storage. So we'd want to ensure that any code updates or any overlay would support the development of those types of facilities as they have some specific unique characteristics compared to other types of development. Another component, so what we're focusing mostly on is coming back for a future code amendment for such an overlay. But another thing that we have found in areas that have been very successful in developing marina districts is there is also a public investment component to that. So while the code would dictate what we see from private sector investment and private sector development, it also provides an opportunity to evaluate public art investments, public access easements, ensuring potential for expansion of river walks or boardwalks, having that recreational area preservation area and trails, and things just in general that support these types of marina uses. So here, this was just an initial preliminary idea of potential boundaries. Again, that's something that, the board will direct. Here, we had highlighted from Gateway Boulevard in the north to just south of Woolbright, with 3 kind of nodal areas near Gateway Boulevard. Obviously the existing marina area, and then the Riverwalk area there at the southeast corner of US 1 and Woolbright. So some of the things that we would, as staff, like to have some feedback from the commission are any specific, goals, objectives that you all may have in wanting to see within this overlay, as well as any discussion on potential boundaries or specific targeted uses, heights within this overlay district, and then any kind of parking provisions or things of that nature. So just any feedback that the city commission may want to have, so that when we bring something back, it's aligned with your thoughts on this. And with that, I'll turn it over if there's any discussion or questions.
Excited for it. I'm very excited for it. I don't have any questions. I have comments saying super joy.
Mr. Fisher, thank you very much. I think there's a lot of good components to this inception of a marina district. I think the important thing to note is what was not presented, which was dense residential. I think the only thing close to that was a hotel, which I think is justifiable when you look at the city's initiative for economic development and, creating additional districts within the city. My opinion on some of the feedback to bring back would be like heavier commercial, obviously no residential. I think a hotel is definitely, advantageous, if it's done right and, it's not super dense. The public space is extremely important. There's properties along that waterway that we're tied into with some, I think, like former grants. So we have to maintain that public space. Boundaries, I think the boundary as it's displayed looks pretty good. If anything, maybe a little bit more south. I don't know off the top of my head. I think those are all residential communities, so I don't even know if that is even worth doing, but I think what is displayed looks good to me. And then, as far as height goes, I think, ultimately that's a tricky question. That's determined on what we want to see there. Obviously, I wouldn't want to see, a 100-foot, 120-foot hotel. I think 60-foot, 80-foot is palatable. We have, a lot of, I think the most dense is Marina Village. That's within that district. And so, I don't think, when we look at that, the issue there is the parking, right? So I think having that public parking is extremely important, especially we're looking to expand the potential commercial use there. We want to be able to park these people. So I would say overall, destination driven, not much of a, you live here, work here, play here. I think it's more so just play here, right? Maybe a little bit of work, but I think this is super exciting, and this is a transformative initiative that I look forward to being a part of.
Okay. Great. Any other thing? Okay. Does anybody have any final comments for tonight? And if not, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and we have a second to adjourn with no further business to discuss. This meeting is adjourned at 8:45 p.m.